The president said hate has no place in our country following two mass shootings this weekend that left at least 29 people dead. Chip Reid has more on that from the White House.
Hate has no place in our country.
President Trump condemned this weekend's shootings, but stopped short of calling for increased gun control.
Perhaps more has to be done. But this is also a mental illness problem.
In the anti-immigrant manifesto the El Paso suspect allegedly uploaded before the shooting, he said that his views on immigration predate the president. Sunday, several Democratic presidential candidates said the president should be held accountable.
The president not only tolerates but invites the kind of racism and hatred that not only offends us but changes who we are as a country.
Candidate Julian Castro says Trump has given license for white supremacy to fester.
As our national leader, you have a role to play in either fanning the flames of division or trying to bring Americans of different backgrounds together.
The president has long made controversial comments about immigrants.
They're bringing crime. They're rapists.
And at a rally this May, a supporter suggested shooting migrants at the border.
But how do you stop these people? You can't. There's no... That's only in the panhandle you can get away with that statement.
When asked Sunday about that incident, the White House said, "This is a time for unity. Perhaps the critics could take time out of their attacks on this president to join us in that effort." Acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney attributed these latest shootings to, quote, sick individuals.
People are going to hear what they want to hear. My guess is this guy's in that parking lot in El Paso, Texas, in that Walmart doing this, even if Hillary Clinton is president.
So, Chip, yesterday the president said we have to get it stopped, right? These sort of shootings. Has the president or the White House pointed to anything specific, though? Yes, these shootings have to stop. But what is he willing to do?
Well, it's very interesting because yesterday on the tarmac, the interview or the statement that you saw, he said, perhaps we need to do more. He wasn't committing to doing anything. And this morning, a senior White House official told us that it wasn't clear whether the president was going to offer any new policy prescriptions in his statement this morning. But in a tweet a short time ago, the president said Republicans and Democrats must come together and get strong background checks, perhaps marrying this legislation with desperately needed immigration reform. That is very newsworthy if he follows through. But as we all know, the president often tweets things that do not really sync up with reality. So we'll see if he really means that.
That's so true. You know, he brings up background checks, and that's sort of one of the suggestions that really does have bipartisan support in terms of the voters. Both Democrats and Republicans agree that better background checks are necessary. Both gun owners and non-gun owners agree better background checks are necessary. It's not exactly sort of a risky thing to float, but still,
it's not. But I'll tell you. True, but in Congress, just because the polls say most Americans, including Democrats and Republicans, agree to stronger background checks, that does not mean that members of Congress, especially Republicans, are going to let it happen. If they were going to let it happen, it would have happened already.
That is a great point, Chip. Thank you very much.
You bet.